Jemima from Tongue and Tonic, and we are talking about the witness position, part 4. We are going to talk about how we can move past the triggers that may have come up for you. If you've watched the last couple of videos and you've started practicing, you may find that you are still being triggered into certain emotions. These usually come from people that are very close to us. To start shifting into a new reality for yourself and removing those triggers, it is very important to first bring awareness to the fact that you are being triggered. So bring awareness. The next one is forgiveness. I forgive you for falling into that trigger. I forgive you for allowing your emotions to move into a consequence or action which you have little pride in yourself as you self-reflect. That's okay. We're here to grow. So how do you remove this? Well, that opens up the conversation with yourself. When you are in the witness position, you're in awareness to yourself, and then it's important to open that conversation. So what does that look like? I can give you an example. So when my parents used to come down, because it's usually family, when my parents used to come down to visit, I found that I was still getting very frustrated sometimes. Why was I getting so frustrated? And I realized that I had set a lot of new core values for myself in my boundaries. And then each time they were asking me to do something, instead of reflecting back, Jemima, does this make you feel good to step into this? Jemima, would you like to do this? Jemima, do you have the energy to do this? Jemima, if you choose to do this, will you feel calm, or is it conflicting with your core values? I found that once I started asking myself these really core questions, and if I disagreed, I simply reflected back to my parents, I don't feel I'm able to do this at this time. I can do this at another time, or I'm just going to sit this one out. Even though the response from them was definitely a reaction, which is normal. When I assert a different boundary to what someone's used to, you're going to have some sort of, oh, what's happening here? Why isn't this flowing the way I imagined it to flow? Because that person has changed their vibration. So at first there was a little bit of back and forth. The triggers were still there, but the triggers were off me, and I was watching my parents become triggered. This is okay. They're grown-ups. They're able to step into these things for themselves. And I respect the fact, and I accept the fact that as adults, they're able to do that and self-regulate. If I try to take the responsibility from them, I'm behaving outside of myself. I'm losing grip on my own reality, witness position, and emotions. So I have to, in order to proceed through these steps, to accept that they're adults, accept that that's their responsibility, and accept that they are going to respond in a potentially negative way because it's a different reaction point. So this has to happen in order for the change to occur. What I felt for myself after their visit was that I was happier, I was more at peace, and I was so proud of myself. And I was able to enjoy every experience that I chose to step into and enjoy with them. So at the end of the visit, they also reflected that I seemed happier. This, in effect, is a much greater harmony for myself, but also for those that are around me. And that reflection that I was more peaceful, at ease, is a huge bonus for me. Would that be a bonus for you? Start the conversation with yourself. You can speak to yourself in the mirror. You can simply speak to yourself in your vehicle as you're moving along. Remember that the conversations with yourself, kindness to yourself, then ultimately and easily reflects out to others. Take care. See you in part 5.